to TVDL to get those guys booted. Okay, so it's back to NFTG.
Hold on a second.
Okay, there's another selection for NFTG. They've got 2 autoloaders popped up right now. Okay, the dogs look like they sound like they're about to get into a fight. I apologize to anyone in chat or anyone watching the stream if I hear a loud dog bark. That's me. Alright, so NFTG selected a T32 for their fourth pick. It's back to PG for the next picks.
There we go.
So far, no one's disclosed whether they're going to be going with 7s or not yet.
Hold on 1 second.
There's another lightweight.
Hey TV, you there, man?
I'm here.
Can you switch me and Nazar's team? Because of how the overlays are made, just for immersion's sake. It's because like NFTG sat on one thing, yeah. That's how I've been doing it for the streams. Thanks, man.
No problem.
Okay, so just got all confusing. All right, so PG selected 2 lightweights. I believe that puts it back to the TG.
Yeah, sorry if I threw you off there.
No problems.
I was just
Not really worried. This is going to be a lot smoother.
Yeah.
I hope. It all goes smoothly once, like anything anywhere. Once you get communication, things just go a lot faster.
Oh yeah.
All right, so it looks like NFTG is going to have to be going.
It's interesting.
Find out with this next pick if they're going to be going with a. They're going to be going with 7s or if they're going to be going with 6. Wait for that next pick from FTG.
Oh man. Well, today's been definitely a lot smoother than last weekend. That's for sure.
Yeah.
100% smoother.
And the only time it was not smooth was when we had communications issues, which
Yeah.
is we went through a lot last week. Yeah. Which when we see those when we see that team again, TLP at 6 will be in Discord, so it'll be a lot faster.
Yeah.
NFTG needs to pick a tank. Hold on a second.
Okay, so yeah. Wonder what we're waiting on here. Must have been a little confusion on tank selections. We kind of got it stalled out. I would like to thank everybody once again for watching the stream and helping support this tournament. It really means a lot to all of us that put this together. Hope you guys are enjoying the games thus far. I'm not sure, is this our last match of the day? I think it might be. Yeah, this is our... Wait. Yeah, this is our last match of the day. Wait, no, it's not. Hold on. I'm looking at the wrong group. Actually, yeah, it is, because CWD pulled out. So, this is our last match for today in this group. I don't think we have any more. It's just the last match in general for WCT.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is, and I forgot to let TLP know that they will not have a match at 6. I let them know that.
We'll get to it.
Send him a message. Hopefully it'll work.
I can let them know too. If it doesn't for you, we'll just do it after this game's over.
I got it.
Alright. Because I have 2 of them on, you can also, they're actually in Discord now, so you can actually message them on Discord.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm not going to trust that just yet. I'd rather use in-game for the moment.
I'm interested to see how they play this. They got a lot of lightweights in PG, which has kind of been like their thing so far today. Hold on.
Yeah, they tend to run a lot of lightweights because it plays like a traditional, 140 you'd see at tier 10.
This is, by the way, guys, both of these teams are currently undefeated in Group A, so this is for the #1 spot in Group A currently, since they are tied. I believe, actually, NFTG, I think, lost 1 round of 47R today, so even by points standpoint, they're even.
Alright, PG went to the traditional, what they call the
bull.
bull tactic on here.
I thought the bull you were saying was more like in H2, like that ball, or was it?
No, it was, it's this...
Where they are now.
Yeah, it's actually this E, or what is this, F2, or straddles F2 and E2. That's that little bowl area between.
Oh,
the other
I
ones
see.
are like kind of rivers, yeah.
Okay. Where,
See what that does for you is it kind of gives you a good defensible position. You can use the back row to outspot and get spots, and you can actually spot your base so they can't quick cap on you.
Yeah, it seems like it's just got a good vantage point from everything. It'd be really good for something
Yeah,
like
the only time it doesn't work is if the other team catches it quick enough and tries to blitz behind you to do a quick cap. It does kind of look like NFTG's Chaffee's kind of making that run down there to try to maybe go for that.
I feel like that would be a good spot for the T-32s to hang out to if PG had any of them on their team. Because I feel like they'd be kind of low enough for them to kind of go haul down there. And they have good enough depression so they could kind of just peek up. Good enough turn armor.
Yeah. The trick about that area, though, is for that tank is it's just a little too high, and you can kind of catch a hole when you get up out of there.
Okay.
Whereas that IS-3 is giving you a little bit better...
it's a little bit more...
a little bit lower profile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which light tank does NFTG have all the way back there? They're Chaffee? Looks like he got spotted. They're turning around. They're all looking at him now. 5100's aiming at him. He got lit.
Did he get lit coming over that hill?
Yeah,
he should have. See, he went...
They turned around.
He would have gone through the back route. He could have probably... Nope, he's still sitting there.
Maybe he didn't realize he got lit?
I would imagine he'd have a good crew in there. I mean, it's something that you can... A gold, so you can toss a gold crew in there. Now he knows he's lit, but what he did there... This goes into really good strategy, yeah. Now that they know they pulled 2 of their heavies out of positions,
You're gonna get up there and try to take
heavy at B3 and that heavy at D3 are kind of out of position. It allows them to get a little bit closer. That'll make this a lot scarier matchup.
T-32's just going in. eats 2 rounds right away. 5120 is going to try clipping somebody. He's catching more shots from that Chaffee. Bounces
there it goes,
one.
all going crazy.
Digital's almost dead. He's one shot. He goes down. How much is this T32 hitting on? He's got a little bit over half health still. How's the trade go? They almost got one of the lightweights. Heavies haven't taken too much damage yet. Chaffee's moving in the back there. Looks like he's going to try. That was kind of an interesting play by him. Drove right in front of their IS-3s. Got himself killed.
That was kind of seemed more like a YOLO run there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Trying to just kind of get.
There's another 4 lightweight for PG goes down.
Amazing Royce hangs on by like 5 HP. 2 HP.
2 HP.
It's close.
Close. There's
Doing
another
trades
heavy.
1 for
Still
1.
still even here.
Doing blows.
We have any autoloaders? Oh, still got Justin Asen as an autoloader sitting in the back. That's going to be a.
They do have a Ghost on that Yak Tiger 2 though. Or not Yak Tiger, I'm sorry, Jake
Yeah,
Tiger 2.
and he's been.
Focus
Oh,
fired, and there's the double
2
shot.
big shots there.
Some
with,
coordination.
PG up ahead.
Viper, another one sitting at just 2 HP. Man, they're just the rolls. RNG is not with NFTW this NFTG. I'm sorry. This round, 2 lightweights sitting on like under 5 HP. Man,
Yeah,
that's a shame.
man, that could have been a shot put somewhere else for full HP.
Yeah, that could have been rounds to different things. But anyway, it is 1 match over to PG, game 1. 2 PG. Pretty good trades overall, I think. They had the right idea of rushing it. I think if they had just rushed it a tad bit more before the heavies got a chance to go back, because they kind of like got up to the bull and then stopped, except for the T32.
Yeah, that was that move on the AMX Chaffee to go around the back like that's kind of the big play there.
Yeah, it worked out.
That spread them out a lot, which gave them a chance to actually pull that out. And as they did that, as they pulled those 2 away, and once they realized that, I mean, that's one of those things where, good callers come in. That was a great call by NFTG to make that push then. Just as you said, it didn't look like RNG was in their favor that one. If I can get an invite back to this party real quick, I'm going to jump into a party with TLP so that they know. Actually, let me see if I can't get them just to talk on Discord. Get my friend's thing to work.
Alright, he did switch me. Perfect. Awesome. Okay. What's up, Jake? It's good to see you, man. Welcome back, dude. It's good to see you. Thank you for being here.
PG's being quick and selecting their first tank. So now it's back to NFTG real quick.
Yeah,
It's winner selects.
I think they were waiting until the
Another one there.
other one's got spectating and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that could have been a much different game if NFTG had just kind of pushed just a tad bit more when they went up to the lightweight bowl. Just kind of focused one of the lightweights down, had the 2 5100s just get rid of one lightweight. Just get all their lights out of the way. It was a close match, though. It would have helped if they had a little bit better RNG, too, with the 2 lightweights that were sitting on under 5 HP. That was hilarious. Oh, man. But it is, PG is leading 1-0. We'll, I guess, put some music back on while we wait for the next round to start. I'm gonna skip this one, though. There we go. Once again, this is for the #1 spot in Group A. Both of these teams are currently undefeated. Both have won 3 matches. seems that they're going with pretty much the same setups for the most part. I have to invite. Wait, no, Naz, you're still here. Never mind.
Yeah, I stuck around. I'll talk to them after this.
All right.
I'm trying to get them on Discord, see if we can't get them more accustomed to using that.
Oh, that's a good point. May not have notifications on or something. Not really quite sure.
He might not. One of them said he was using it as on his PC, so I don't know how that works. And my friends list thing is just so bunked up. It's just horrible. I wish I could just videotape this. It's so bad.
Report the Xbox. Like, yo, shit's fucked. It's broke, man.
I mean, seriously, like halfway through the first game, I couldn't send a message, and right now I'm sitting on my messages, and it's just like grayed out. It doesn't even tell me if I have anyone who had messaged me or anything.
Wow, damn, rip. Yeah, that sounds like, I don't know how to fix that. Might have to definitely go and ask them.
And I'm one of those people, when I run my Xbox, it's always turns completely off. I don't do the where it stays and updates.
Yeah, I do the
I don't even have that as a good excuse.
I do that as well. It seems like both teams are kind of going with the same composition they did last time.
Yeah, I imagine we'll probably see the same kind of tank selections.
We'll see. I believe PG, their last two picks were another lightweight and the Chaffee. They have the same comp as they did last time. Pretty much the same comp thus far with the NFTG.
Oh, God, I just got my messages where I could see someone who sent me a message and can't actually select it.
You want me to message
okay, so
them?
PG's...
I can message it as well. Unless you hold on.
If you could just send him a message letting him know that CWD is pulled out, so their 6 o'clock game is not playing. It looks like NFTG is going to go with 2 tier 7s.
Oh, are they? Bulldogs, huh?
Yep.
I suppose.
Looks like I saw a bulldog. Now it's interesting because that's a bulldog, so I'm wondering if they select another bulldog, we're going to have issues with the autoloader cap here. I'll have to double check that.
That's a good point.
I know people run the bulldog without the autoloader, but it'd be surprising to see on a clan match.
No, you'd have to start the game in order to find out if they actually did break the rule. If they checked it. Do we know what they look like? The difference between the two?
Yes, one will have a muzzle brake.
Is the muzzle brake?
And then the other one won't.
They did do bulldogs, so we'll have to check that.
They did 2 bulldogs.
Alright, TLP, send me a message. I'll check it after this is over. As a voice message.
They said they are running 2 single-shot bulldogs.
Okay.
I'll double check that as we get in here. Luckily, let's hope so.
Let's hope so.
I imagine it would be. I don't think they're going to make any mistakes like that because that will cost them.
Which one
kind of big?
Is the one with the muzzle brake the single shot?
I'm looking for it right now. I actually had it pulled up one point in time on my iPad for during the games, and I can't.
He posted it.
Yeah, Predator posted it.
But he had them backwards.
The community tactics forum.
Remember he corrected himself. He had like posted them backwards.
Yeah, it's something to do with it's the muzzle brake is not the autoloader. Um,
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure this one has a muzzle brake on it, peanut power. Check. Okay. So that's one bulldog has an autoloader and the other one doesn't, I think. Like Peanut doesn't. Yeah, Peanut's got the muzzle brake and the other one has the autoloader.
okay, which is correct. They had told me that they were running two. Okay. Uh,
They're all sitting at
okay.
spawn.
PG is just suicided. Is there a reset that I missed?
Everyone on AMX's team, or on the NFTG's team is like looking the other way. I'm guessing there's a reset. Peanut's got. I mean, they didn't break any of the rules, as far as I can see. So
Actually, PG is being sportsman, and there's too many
yeah.
autoloaders on the NFTG side. The guys thought he had the autoloader option selected and did not. That's where you.
So wait, what?
What happened was, and PG can use this option. Remember where you said one of NFTG guys had autoloader and the other one
Yeah.
didn't?
Yeah.
They oopsed on that and they selected and they thought they had the wrong right package on there and didn't know.
Well, they didn't break any of the rules
So
anyway.
they kind of didn't, but decided to. PG decided to be very nice and allow them to reset. So.
I mean, they. PG could just, or NFTG could just be like, well, we didn't break the rules, so you guys just lost a round or something. I don't know, but I guess that's their
They
call
could.
on it.
All right, it is page 16 is the one that has the autoloader and semi-auto selection, and they're all picking the same tanks again, so it flew out real quick. The autoloader is with the muzzle brake, and the semi-auto is without. We should see two NFTG guys without muzzle brakes.
Did PG take this? PG didn't pick the same tanks. They have a T-29.
Did I catch that? Oh, jeez. Probably didn't because I'm trying to multitask, and I'm not very good at that.
Yeah, I don't remember them. They had 3 lightweights. They had the exact same setup they did the first time.
Yeah.
So they
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm looking.
And NFTG didn't, or also didn't pick the same exact tanks because they have 3 5100s. Muzzle brake. Where's the other one? Where are you at?
Okay.
Where you at?
These guys are being, liberal and nice on this stuff, so we'll.
Muzzle brake. All right, so both the Bulldogs do have muzzle brakes on, so they didn't both single shots. They all just didn't pick the same tanks as they had the first time.
Okay, wait a second here, because FTG, now the muzzle brake is, according to post.
Oh, his post is backwards. If you're looking at Predator's post.
Okay, I thought he had edited that and flipped it.
I don't know if he did edit it, but they had it. I remember him saying like 2 pages later or something like that. He corrects himself in like all caps, like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
I put it backwards." So I don't know if he actually changed his original post. This is interesting that everyone went hill.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
I noticed that, a little bit of confusion going on here. Yeah, Tank is on that team.
Things kind of
They're
all
both
over the
sitting in
place.
Discord.
Yeah.
Not muted, so
I'm in there listening to. They both use push to talk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They should both have them muted.
I'm muted in there, and I overwatch the channel just to make sure nothing crazy's going on.
All right.
Too bad those bulldogs don't have the bulldogs didn't have autoloaders, because they'd have been able to push those lightweights. Kind of damage everywhere. This kind of almost looks like a normal hub match, unless like a land match here.
So I was thinking.
Aside from stuff like that.
All right, never mind. I was thinking the wrong team.
Okay.
I was gonna say PG's Bulldog is the autoloader, but they're still good on the autoloader numbers because they're only 2 then.
Yeah. Yes. Another one of those ones where instead of picking the T32 and wasting an 8 on that, you could pick 2 T29s and get the same basic loadout.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's a good point. I would say.
Ooh. A couple of big shots coming in to tank you very much right now. Couple big bounces too.
Oh yeah, there he is. This isn't really
Goes
looking
down.
good for NFTG. They're a little too spread out. Have the hill advantage, which is not helping them in the slightest being open over here.
It's interesting because the 54 lightweights, not having that traditional Russian lack of gun depression, figure they wouldn't be able to be doing as much up there. I guess they're using their heavies down below to address that issue.
That's what I was thinking. They're like poking up and like aiming sideways. They're using the hill that's directly in front of them to the advantage instead of like driving, kind of like driving up the side of the hill and then shooting instead of trying to drive over the hill and shooting. And now they're realized they took him out. They're gonna rush this last 5100 over here. Can we get a ram? No, not lucky enough today to get the ram. There we go.
Oh, nope, there it was.
And these heavies are gonna rush.
Now it's
him.
another ram down here.
Get him in the water. This is gonna be an interesting play.
Everyone into the pool.
Everyone's going for swimming, man.
Because
Just
he
dog piles.
takes a.
Oh, they got it. They're on the board. So TG gets on the board with that. I guess I don't know if would you call that a ram kill. I'm not entirely sure, but game the PG. So that's 2 rounds, and we are on to the next map, which I believe is what was the map? Himmelsdorf for the second map.
The Himmelsdorf for the second?
Yep.
Ooh. That's kind of fun.
Himmelsdorf once again. PG getting right into tank selection.
Or
he just
they reset the
deselected?
map. They're allowed a little bit before everyone's selected into spectators to do that, because you know how you can, if you accidentally press A when you go to tank selection, it'll drop you back in.
Oh,
So there is a little bit of a leeway that way.
I guess, yeah.
Yes, this is Himmelsdorf. Oh, okay. So game 5 is our next week. We got 1 game after this game. There's no more games today for us.
Yeah, one
And we'll have
tomorrow.
1 game tomorrow at 1 o'clock. CDR for 47 Ronin. That ought to be a good match too.
I kind of wish we could squeeze them all in one day instead of having like just one match the next day.
Yeah,
But
I'm sure we'll probably the reason why so everyone's aware of why that happened. Did that because in case a team has to back out for some reason or is unable to match, they'll have another day to make up. But if they can't make it for Sunday, too bad, so sad.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a lot of the stuff and a lot of the rules that were put in place here was to help new clans get in, so that you're
Especially,
not having clans that know better and know all the rules and all that stuff get in here and just stomp face because people are doing rules violations.
yeah.
So it was just like the tank selection thing. The reason why the tank selection is 1, 2, and the whole pattern you've been seeing is because it helps everyone kind of get involved. It stops the option of counter picking, which is the deselect option, because that's been problems in previous matches. Uh, so once you kind of cover that situation, then you're dealing with, hey, okay, so we got that covered. We're good to go here, and the letter of the law, which we experienced in PG in the TLP thing, is yes, you're supposed to go 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. But what the meaning of the law, so to speak, is it's supposed to be you pick one. Come on, puppies, stop being loud. Is to basically make it where you don't have counter picks and to kind of get some kind of way to counter pick without having counter picks.
Mm-hmm.
So, like when PG selected all their tanks at one time, really, in all actuality, that is a benefit to TLP because then they know what tanks PG was running, so they could go, oh, hey, they're running all autoloaders. We'll run heavily armored tanks that might bounce 1 or 2 of those autoloader shells. And come on, Annie, knock it off. Bounce 1 or 2 of those autoloader shells and call it a day. Win by just DPM that way instead of autoloader DPM.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the reason why it was set up the way it was. And we'll probably work on that and get that amended to the rules to kind of help for earlier games or games next week and stuff like that, so we have less problems.
Alright, so NFTG needs to select one more, I believe. If PG started.
Nope, I believe this is. Isn't it PG's correct?
So they need to pick one more tank, and then PG selects their last 2, and they select the last one.
Wait a second, no, yeah, you're right. I apologize. That is NFTG.
Let's see if Ghost is playing.
Yeah.
I don't think Ghost played the last 2 matches. Except for maybe the first round. I don't think he played last round. Which is interesting because Ghost has kind of been like a whole cornerstone for... Oh, there he is. He is playing. Okay. Ghost has been kind of like a cornerstone for NFTG's, like, how they've kind of played in previous matches we've seen where, like, a light tank will go with him and they'll completely flank around and light tank will scout while he snipes. Now this isn't necessarily an open map, so that strategy doesn't really work as well, but that's kind of what they've done, and it's worked for them in the past with a lot of other teams.
And that's they actually ran Ghost on the first map of
Yeah, when they were
Oroka. It looks like we got a good loadout here. See, no illegals on the autoloaders. Seems to all look good, so we're going. Yeah, that's one of those things. That map, they did it the first time, but they didn't do it the second time because it wasn't really as effective as they were hoping for, I believe.
Yeah.
Because just kind of how everything went, or maybe their strategy of pushing that hill wasn't beneficial to having that big kind of soft-sided tank.
Yeah, he was a little out of position. He was a little too far forward, and I don't think he could poke with, like, the damage trade wasn't as much as it should have been. Like, he would just take way too much damage for the one shot that he'd get off. If he had kind of been a little bit more back and to the left and been on that hill, he probably could have done a little bit more damage to the enemy team, I would think. Kind of like in public matchmaking, sniping back there with TDs.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know how much
thing you get with that is you get your... Yeah, that bowl, if you actually play that, it's really hard to get someone if they're playing low inside there. All right, now PG is old hats on this map, but this is actually one of their uh, normally one of their less won maps.
Their kryptonite map.
Kind of, but they do win here. They beat Russ, I believe it was. They played on this map, and they did beat them with interesting strategies.
They are doing the same strat. I believe it was them that we saw earlier.
No,
where the
no, it wasn't them. That was
the 5100s went up there, because that's kind of similar as to
it
what
was
another team.
NFTG did that.
Oh, was it them?
NFTG did that the
Okay.
first. Yeah, because they played that 40 game against 47 Ronin.
Oh, that's true. You're right.
PG's got their two guys up there. Looks like
Ghost
FTG's realized that and is moving down Banana Road.
Ghost and Sniff are going up, and they're gonna try splitting them. Where this plan could work in the fighting on two fronts thing, I get that. But if they do decide to turn around and turn on you and pinch, and then you're fighting on two, then you're getting shot from two different fronts. So it's kind of like a risk to push that Banana Road without that much backup when it's only two of you, and you're going to be going into between 5 of them or 7 of them.
Here goes PG. They've seen what's coming up to the top right now.
5100. He's about to.
And that's going to be
this is a
yeah,
dead
he's about to get
5100.
melted.
One shot to their Chaffee, which just is not enough. He's probably going to get melted too between the two that are up there. Get taken out real fast. They're firing 300.
It's going to get
2 more shots. And there it is. That's GG.
It's going to be yeah, that's an ugly encounter there.
It looks like they're going to head back down. At least the Chaffee will. See if the 5100s follow. It looks like they probably will. Iron's for some reasons at their base by himself. Not sure what he's doing all the way over here.
I think he's trying to lure them a little bit because the two IS-3s there are covering the base, but they're not able to do anything out of there.
That's true. They
Like kind of do a shoot out of there.
have to get out of position.
So
Everyone's kind of paired up.
If the IS-3s down here and this 5100 kind of go in there and
Yeah, the 5100s are just
do their
doing
job.
work. I'm not sure if they reloaded or not, but if they did, they're just gonna melt vanilla.
Yeah, I think they reloaded on the way down.
Yeah, I think so too. No, at least the Chaffee did. Yep, there he is. The Chaffee gets him. And that's gonna be a dead
The
IS-3
two
in a second,
IS-3s are gonna go up again. Yeah, they're gonna go fight this.
since they know they're not gonna get shot.
And that
from
was
anywhere.
that was good control of the overmatch situation there. Like TVDL might be getting it in the side of the face here.
That was
I think,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's kind of a lot of things going on at once there for a second, but looks like Chaos is in the reload.
Kind of fake. Yeah, he's
That's
done.
the end of him, and
Chaffee picks up another one. I believe he got 3.
that's a
He
clean
did.
sweep.
And that is match number 3 going over the PG Team 2. That is kind of an example of communication, I think. Like the second somebody was dead on NFTG, PG just like jumped in and got in the action of relocating or whatever they had to do to kind of pounce on the remaining members. Like the second
Yeah,
that
and that's
people at Banana Road died, those two IS-3s just came up and whooped the one that was at base real fast. And
yeah. There's also really kind of more of a control of the overmatch. As yeah, what's going on here with NFTG picking tanks?
I have no idea.
Wonder if this is just a oops,
Yeah, I think it's an oops. Either that,
or they're just gonna select their stuff up and just, you know,
we're gonna have to
PG just
we're gonna-
counterpick it.
We're gonna have to let them know that's not a rule because we just told PG that they couldn't do that. That
Yeah.
very thing. So we're gonna have to fill them in. I don't know if they. I don't think they got the memo because that's what CWD did to them. So they probably still think that's in the rules.
And it will be probably amended into rules after this game. Ooh, KV5.
Oh, really? Damn.
That's interesting.
That's surprising. Yeah, this is gonna be. I don't think that's gonna be very. That's not gonna work very well. I don't know. It depends on really how
So
you
that's a
play it.
lot of armor, and that's
It's a lot of
a lot of armor.
with very obvious weak
That's a
spots.
pretty fast firing gun, and if you shoot nothing but premium out of there, man, it'll do a lot of work.
Oh, it will, but
So if you were to take say a 5100, if you were to get to bounce maybe 3 5100 shells off there, that could be a lot of damage going on, and a lot of 2100s on a 45-second reload that you can rush and burn up.
he has to be very careful though on how he places his tanks because from at least from what I hear about the PG clan, from what we've seen so far, I would expect them all to know where every single weak spot on that tank is, and there is
Oh yeah.
a lot of like very obvious weak spots. If you don't protect them, you're kind of screwed. Now, if you reverse side scrapes on like Banana Road, for instance, or something like that, it'd be a little bit of a different story, depending on which side. Because if it's only got the one hatch on the top, right? So if you're lucky enough,
Well, it's got the R2D2 turret in the front.
yeah, but if you
The
like
big plate across the back, that's soft.
yeah, if you like reverse side scrape though, and you're doing it on the right side or like on the proper side of the tank, then you can hide all the R2D2s on the front as well as your hatch, and then you don't really have any weak spots, any obvious weak spots for the enemy team to shoot, but you have to like do it very properly to put it in the exact right way. I'm on PG's team.
And I think for
Rip
your
immersion.
immersion's sake, I don't think
Yeah, rip immersion.
yeah, I think TV big ol' sneeze doggy. As far as that last match goes, where that match was run was on the hill. Those two 5100s or 5100s going up the hill and burning up a 5100 and the JP2, that allowed them to be 2 tanks up real quick with no loss. Which, you know, the second you lose that many hit points and you lose that many guns, it's a bad situation.
I'm a ghost. I'm flying through all the buildings.
Ghost mode.
It's ghost mode.
The way everyone wanted it to be.
But yeah, you're 100% right. They are just hard pushing Banana. They didn't spot anybody, so they're just going for it. 5120s.
And this could be really interesting because you have the ability of NFTG to get in there if they get in there and
I will laugh if they
cap that up
out.
without being detected.
That would be hilarious if they
I mean,
just capped out, which is what it looks like they're going to try doing. I mean, the 50.
It looks like the chap, if he just caught that, he's probably ordering the guys down below to go ahead and make a push back.
The 5100s can't do anything about that from there either. They can't land any shots, I don't think. Oh, they can, never mind. Unless they get on the other side of the buildings, which they are. The last
Right, five people in cap. Here's what you're going to see. You're going to see a turtle maneuver here to cover the light tank in the back.
Oh, this is going to be priceless.
You know what? That is a always interesting play. That's something Russ had done previously. And by keeping him back there, yeah, they just
never reset. He always has points.
Exactly.
The 5120s from Hill finally got down here. They're going to try flanking the remaining heavies that are over here. This is what we call playing. Playing for the win, boys. Not playing for kills. This is playing for wins.
Oh, but they got the light tank out from behind them. They didn't cover them quite as well as they needed to.
Got that shot from the flank. Now they have to reset. They have 6 seconds to reset.
5 seconds.
Rolling up to double reset. And
oh, they got it.
Oh, rip.
Oh.
The Desperado play almost worked. I think it was.
Yeah, they really needed to park that KV5 kind of in front there. And that would have probably made that work out a little bit better. But and that was
very close.
That's probably really scary there for.
That's something you need like an ELC
PG.
for. AMX Chaffee is a little tall for when you're getting covered by an IS-3. If the IS-3 pokes forward a little too much, then he's gonna get shot. I'm surprised.
It's one of those things. It's really hard to kind of cover yourself there to know when you got that guy behind you, because you don't know until you get shot.
I mean, Sniff could still kind of win this. It's not gonna happen. Maybe, I don't know if he gets like super lucky. Yeah, there he goes.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't see the IS3 was at full health. I was just looking at it. I was like, man, their Chaffee must be out of the clips, and their other 5100 must be out of the clip. He could possibly like win this, maybe if he's lucky, but no. And that's the last game to PG. I mean, that was a good idea. It was a good play. If they just
Yeah, that's some
need to hunker down.
something
a little
that
bit
you
more.
saw. I said Russ did that in one game where they actually turtled a bunch of E100s around a tank. Can't remember what it was. I think it was a batch hat, and they
Oh my
actually
goodness.
literally just parked flat in front of him and backed him up in a corner on Himseldorf, and that was the end of it. You couldn't shoot the guy. That's the end of our games for today.
You know what? What probably would have
So.
saved him